have you had any fighters in your time take on some extreme that changed them, that flipped a switch to them, that some kind of like different training routine that they implemented that was different than all the 4 or 5 times before where you saw a switch physically? Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I've never been successful with it. No, never, not successful with that. No, but this is a different story. We've never had somebody like a David Goggins come in and train a fighter of this magnitude. That a fighter actually of this magnitude would even train with him for that. So this will be a first. And so I'm curious to see how this translates, because if this translates well for Tony, you can imagine how many people are going to flock to a guy like that to get the mental training, because they already know how to fight. It's the mental part. And I've always said, when people always interview, what is my secret? I say mental. It's been mental all this time. Mental. I've never said it was my technique. I never said I'm a great technician. I don't even know jiu-jitsu. I don't know wrestling. So what do? I put the people that know how to wrestle to teach them. I get the people that are great at jiu-jitsu to teach them. And then I put the mental part and I put the strategies together, teach them how to think, so I do that. So, it's a great thing, it's a great thing. So I don't know if what David is doing with Tony is going to work. It might just be fantastic. Let's not be so judgmental, and let's see how Tony goes at it, because he's obviously very happy with the guy. He's training with him. He ain't quitting, right? And you see how he's puking and whatnot. And hey, let's see.
Do you think this is like just my thing, because having that work is that they push you past where you give up. So the non-give up part, you get that going, like your heart. Let's say heart, in fighting, as you guys always say, as fighters, heart is like 100%, very important in the ring, because to never give up, to take the hits after you've been hit and come back after you've been thrown down and get up and keep going after that. It's always about dealing with the, what's coming at you. And so, go ahead.
It can work, man. It can work, because when you get going, just a little 10%, 5%, 2% more that Goggins could give him could be what the difference is in between him winning and losing. Like if he gets hit with a good shot and he comes back and hits, Patty with another good shot of his own, whereas before he might have delayed that, it could be that, hey, you hit you right back, right? So it's kind of one of those things where it could work in his favor. If that does happen, I don't really know. It's one of those very interesting topics that I want to see. I want to see how good this is, because I know how strong the mental training is. I know, because that's what made me successful. So if this is great, then you know what? It could very well be that David Goggins' way might be the way to go to really make fighters. I don't know.
I'm curious. You definitely. I know what you're saying. It's kind of like this. You're a coach. It's like being Elon Musk. You can build the most amazing Tesla car. I mean, you know how to get the infrastructure, pick the right guys to run it, have the general idea how it's built. You might be good at like the engine, but you're not good with the transmission and everything else, but you're good with an important part, and you know how to bring it to market. So you're like a Henry Ford. You know how to set up the assembly line.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And you know which guys to hire under you and how to put that whole business plan together for the fighter.
And I learned that from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, a book I read over 30 something years ago. That book still applies to this day on how I strategize and how I get people. I don't have to be the mechanic. I don't have to be, the painter, but I know who the painter is that can fit that car. I know the mechanic that can fix that car. So I put them together, and then we strategize. And I'm the guy that gives the race car driver the directions on how to drive that car. So that's me. That's me. So again, it's the mental part. So that's where David Goggins potentially could come in at a higher level than I am. It's possible. It's possible. He doesn't have my knowledge again, but maybe that one thing he does have is better than what I have altogether. I don't know.
I think